1951 I was working on a station called my Emily Station, 49 mile out of Tottenham. And 1951 was the year of the big wool boom, pound to pound for wool. And the chap I was working for, he couldn't, the shearers was late coming, and everyone wanted the shearers at the one time. So, and they got a big blowfly strike on account of a lot of rain. And he was a bit worried, didn't know what was going to happen. So he said to me, or I said to him, I said, if I'd have a go at him, I said, if it's all right with you. So I said, can you shear? And he said, I can a bit. He said, I'll show you what I know. So anyway, we started off. I had a big mate with me, give him first go, and I just picked up the wool and done the pressing for the first week. And I only used to watch the boss how he held the sheep, because that's a lot of the secret. So anyway, after a week, my mate knocked up. He couldn't handle it. So he said to me, he said, well, you can go off and do the same job that Reg has been doing for a week. And anyway, I kicked off, and I shore 31 or 32 my first day. And from then on, I finished that run there at that shed. And then I went back just working on different stations, and I used to always do the straggler shearing, and it was fly blown and that, till I got my hand in. And then I went to Moree, and that's where I started I started at Success Station at Moree. That's Kirkby's, had a big stud there, and I shore there. And talking about diabetics, my pen mate was a fella named Ted Fox from Inverell, and he was 65, a left-hand shearer, and he used to needle himself every morning for diabetics before he started work. So it just shows you, yeah, you can't lie down, you've got to keep having a go. About 5 years is when they discovered I had it. I was 73 last Saturday. Well, how they recognised it was, I was all just ready to go into the operating theatre, and the sister asked me for a urine test, and she took it away and tested it and come back and told me I was that high that it was very risky. So then the doctor, they informed him, and they called the operation off till they got me diabetes down. I was introduced to the doctor, and they put me on a course of tablets, and went on to a diet, to a certain thing, and then I started to come good. And I always watch my weight a bit, eat good solid bush tucker more or less, and I just keep working, and I reckon that's what burns the sugar up and controls my weight. I work 7 days a week, but Sundays I generally have half a day off and a couple of beers. Everything in general, fencing, shearing, cutting timber, general bushwork mostly, and I've got my own few cattle and that I look after. My mother, as far as I know, got it very late in life when she's just before she turned 80 years of age. My mother had it, and my sister, she's developed it now, and the sister's older than me. The sister's going on 75, so, and we've all sort of got it late in life. What ones in the family, they discovered that's got it. It was always late in the later years. Let me think now. I take a Lepitor tablet of one a night. I had Estric, I think they call them, 1 tablet a day to thin my blood out. That was more or less, I presume, that helps control it, but I think that's a bit to do with my heart too, type of thing. The other glucophage, I take 1 of a morning after my breakfast and 1 of a night after my tea. A couple of years back, if I had a big baked dinner or anything like that, I'd go up to 9. 10's the maximum I went to. But if I watch that, cut that back, I generally hang in around about 6. I was finding if I took too many of the glucophage, at one stage I was on 1 after each meal. But if I took too many, I used to perspire like blazes. And sometimes if at night I'd wake up, I'd have to get up and just change all my gear off and even pull the sheets off the bed. I used to sweat that much. But I cut them tablets back, I'll be truthful, I cut them back to 1 after breakfast of a morning And I've found since I've done that, I don't get those bouts of heavy perspiration at all. I used to even get it in the middle of winter, but I don't now. Yeah. Mainly, well, I've had both knees have been replaced, fully replaced. Here a couple of months ago, they discovered I had a stone in my kidney, but whether it's passed or not, I don't know. The doctor, I went for more tests and that, and they were all sent back to Dr. Yeah, is his name? And he was going to ring me if I had to go to hospital. He said, I'll get in touch with her. Well, he didn't get in touch with me, so things mustn't be too bad. So I just haven't worried about that side of it anymore while I've been feeling good. No, when I was smoking about 10 years ago, 11 years ago, I used to get a little bit of a ping in the chest. And I did go to doctor. He put me on the exercise bike and I'd done all the tests and one thing and another. And I was on some tablets for a little while, the ones you put under your tongue. I can't think of the name of them. But I only ever used to take one of them if I got a bit of a ping in the chest. But as soon as I stopped smoking, I haven't had that. Well, this set of glasses is only 3 months old, and I had a test 6 months prior to that. So about 6 months, each 6 months. These set of glasses now are only about 4 months old, 5 months old. My eyes was holding good last time I went. As I said, about 4.5 months ago, 5 months, and she said that they were good. No, not. He said the only thing he could see is a slight cataract, but he said don't worry about them. He said they mightn't develop any more or may go away or whatever the case may be. But he said don't worry about them until they really got serious. Anyway, that's one other tablet I take is a quinine tablet. If I've been working hard through the day, I take one quinine tablet at night. If it gets too severe, I'll take a second one, and that stops me getting the cramps in the legs and that eases my feet down. If I could really get my feet where I didn't get them wanting to get up and run, feeling the pins and needles and that in my feet, I'd be terrific. It's times it nearly drives me crazy. I used to train greyhound dogs for a living. I used to walk up to 14 mile a day with real good distance dogs. But I've always kept myself active all my life, and I reckon that's been the mainstay. Well, I'm always a great believer, and I take notice of whatever doctor that talks to me, irrespective of what I got wrong with me. And like they're the people that's got to know how, and they should be like whatever advice they give you. If you follow it, you'll soon know yourself anyway. After a couple of months, if you're not responding, well, it's got to either be something more serious, or you're doing the wrong thing by yourself, or something's not just gelling together. But that's the way I've always followed. Just go along with whatever the medical profession tells me to do. Anyone that, if they really want to try and help themselves, they've got to have a go, like try and keep themselves active, even if they're only doing a bit of gardening, or walk. If they can't do anything else, try and do a bit of walking, or if you can't do that, just try and keep your mind occupied. And you've got to try and do something. It's no good just throwing the sponge in.